if you don't know me, I'm Casey Cox, I'm your sheriff, and I'm already off script, but I want to tell you a little bit about this youth academy if this is your first year here and being a part of it. I got elected 7 years ago, and Sergeant Gary Howard came to me with an idea of starting this youth academy. And I'm open for any ideas. If it's going to be a good idea, if it's not a good idea, we'll try it and toss it. And it's obvious that this idea was a great idea, and it's impactful not only to, we hope, and we believe this to be true because a lot of these young folks keep coming back each year, but it's not only impactful to these young folks, it's impactful to these officers. And some of them are not able to be here tonight, some of them are working now out on patrol, but it's as impactful to the officer as it is to the individual, or to the student. So first off, welcome to the parents, welcome to the families. I want to tell you, thank you so much for allowing us to spend some time with your kids. You have great kids. You know, and Gary said this, Sergeant Howard said this a minute ago, is that we look on the news and we see in society every day all this bad that's going on out there, and it's really easy to get sucked into it. I spoke to each one of the groups, and as I speak to them, sometimes I'd hold my phone up and I'd say, right here, this is the bad thing that's happened to us all, because it makes everything so, we get just so disassociated with each other. I said, it's easy to talk bad about people when you're just on this phone, and it's easy to be mean to people with just this phone. I said, people didn't do that when we were in school, when we were young. You know, there was fights every day out in the parking lot of the Cumberland County High School, and then most of the time they were helping each other up off the ground, or they were friends at the end of the week, or and there'd be a shotgun hanging in the window of the truck, and never did anybody think about taking that shotgun out of the back of the truck and hurting somebody. Where have we got to? And it's scary. But the beautiful part about living in Cumberland County is we have this. Most places don't have this. So thank you for sharing your children with us. Thank you, cadets. Thank you, cadets, and thank you, cadets, for spending your time. You could have been doing whatever you wanted to do this summer, but you chose to spend it with us and learn about a career that I hope that you enjoy. And if you don't want to be in law enforcement, if you learn that you didn't want to be in law enforcement through this academy, I hope that you take something from that, because I've talked to each one of you about this. Take something from that and put it into a career that you love and enjoy. Thank you to the volunteers, the instructors, all the sheriff's office staff, the SROs. You know, they do a fabulous job. They love and hug on your kids, and you know, we're very selective on who we put in the schools to be the SRO. I mean, I've always said this, when I was fighting so hard to get school resource officers in all the schools, you know, it was some county commissioners would be like, well, yeah, you can give anybody a gun, just give them a gun and tell them to stand at the door. That's not what an SRO is. I can take a monkey to stand at the door with a gun. These men are so much more than a man with a gun. They are a mentor to your children. They interact with your children. They catch your children when they're having a bad day, when they're having a good day, and they interact with your kids. And I can tell you that I know it for without a doubt. And I won't go into details, but there was an incident in Cumberland County that I know was spoiled because of the relationship that SROs had with the children in our elementary schools. So thank you guys for what you do. Now I want to talk to you kids for you cadets for a little bit. You all heard me say this stuff a little bit before, but I want to reiterate some things to you that I spoke about to you during your week. I want each one of you to set goals for what you want to do in life. Each one of you set goals for what you want to do. You know, I'm getting to do what I love. I get to be a sheriff, and I truly love what I do. But now, it wasn't easy to get to where I'm at. There's hurdles and things that's going to happen to you in your life that you're going to have to overcome. And if it was easy, everybody would do it, and you wouldn't appreciate where you got to. So understand that things are not going to be easy. That's why when we study for tests, that's why when we practice for sports, because things are competitive and we realize that there's going to be hurdles and it's not always going to be easy for you. Learn something every day. That's why I hope that while you were at this academy, that you learned something every day that you were there. I talked about that a little bit, about job life as an interview, especially you high school students and cadets. Life is an interview for you now. And so knowledge is power. When I interview somebody and I have two people sitting in front of me and I have to make a selection, knowledge is power. If you know more than the person sitting next to you, most likely you're going to be the one that gets the selection. Love what you do. If you love what you do, y'all heard me say that over and over again. Love what you do and it'll show and you'll be good at it. Don't go into your career path because you want to become rich. Not by money, rich by love and what you absolutely enjoy doing. And if you enjoy and love what you do, that's your riches. And the other side, it'll come to you. I promise you that it will. You will love, if you love what you do, it's going to show. Work hard for everything you have and everything that you do. Every single day I want you to work hard. And if you fail at something, don't ever give up at what you're doing. Absolutely don't give up. If you fail at something, you're supposed to fail at things in life. Every one of us that's standing here or sitting here that was helping you in your instruction, everybody has failed, and they're going to continue to fail. But when we quit and we give up, that's when we lose. So don't do that. And I told you, choices and decisions. With every good choice and every good decision comes good consequences. With every bad choice and every bad decision comes bad consequences. We discussed that. Remember that. I want you to remember that. And a bad choice and a bad decision can happen just exactly like that. I told you, my jail holds 212 people. And there's a whole lot of people in there. All of them have made a bad choice and bad decision, but most every one of them, I can stand up there in front of you, right here, I can stand in front of your parents, and stand them up here, and they're going to tell you that a bad choice and a bad decision got me there. So, make smart choices and smart decisions. And remember what the other thing I told you is, show me who you hang around with, and I'll show you who you are or who you're going to be. If you hang around with bad people and you hang around with a bad crowd, you can expect that it's going to rub off on you and you're going to act like it. And what was the other saying I said? If you lay with dogs, you get fleas. Same thing. You're going to hang around with bad people that do bad things, treat people bad, and say bad things to folks. You can expect that that's what's going to happen to you. Even if you're not, people's going to assume that you are. Be the type of person that you want to meet. I want you to be the type of person that you want to meet. Treat other people the exact way that you want to be treated. It tells us that in the Bible. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's something that every single one of us, even as adults, should live by every single day. So treat others the way you want to be treated. And remember, I told every one of y'all this too. And I'm reiterating a lot of the stuff that I said because I believe that if you'll take this with you through school and as you get older, and even us and your parents, if we do these type of things, we make a better society. We're not what we see on the news every single day. So be kind to others, because you don't know what the person sitting next to you, to your left or your right, is going through each and every day. You may be the very best friends, but you do not know what mom and dad, what's going on at the house with mom and dad. You don't know what's going on with the family. You don't know what's being said, or somebody that's being picked on, or somebody that's being bullied. You don't know what's going on in that person's life. So the very good thing that you say to them could be the thing that changes and impacts their life for the rest of their life. The bad thing that you say to them can impact their life in a negative way for the rest of their life as well. And it's so much easier to treat people nice than it is to treat people bad. And I'll tell you, when you get up here and you start talking bad to folks, and you start saying bad things to people and start bullying and picking on people, I learn a lot about who you are, because it tells me a whole lot about what your character is and what type of person that most likely you're going to grow up to be. Be recognized as a person of honesty and character. Honesty and character. Remember, does anybody remember what my 3 core value words are? What do you got? What's your words? That's right. Professionalism, integrity, and respect. And I expect that out of everybody that works at the sheriff's office, and that's a thing that you should be doing every single day. That's not something that just a police officer does. That's what we do every day. carry yourself in a professional manner, do the right thing when nobody's watching, and be respectful to others. Even in law enforcement, when somebody's being a bad person, we don't go down to their level. We get to show them the amount of respect that the greatest amount of respect that we can show them. Sometimes we have to get a little harsh and rough with folks, but that's to get those folks under control, and then we treat those people like human beings. We don't get down to that level. So remember those three words. If you remember anything, remember those three words. Those will get you through life a long way. So I want to tell you this, and I'm closing. I don't think I touched on the thin blue line thing a whole lot to you guys. All right? So the thin blue line, in parents, families, if you don't know what the thin blue line is, a lot of you do. A lot of people stick it on their bumpers of the cars, hoping it'll keep them from getting a ticket. Well, it's not that, and I've had some pretty harsh conversations with folks about this thin blue line because they believe that it's just to get them out of the ticket. If you've ever worked in law enforcement or you know about law enforcement, you know this, and we believe this. That top black, I use my wife. That's my wife. She lives up with her head in the clouds every single day, living life. Life is grand. She goes shopping, she goes around town, and she sees the good in the world. All right, she's the sheep. She's the sheep. Then you've got this bottom black down here. And the bottom black, that's the bad of the world. That's the mean, the vile, the ones that want to hurt, to take away, and victimize good folks that are up here. And in between that, there's this little thin blue line. That little thin blue line is the law enforcement officers and professionals that work day in, day out, from daylight till dark, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They work tirelessly to make sure that this black down here can stay away from the black up here. So keep the wolves away from the sheep. And we call those sheepdogs. And I'll tell you this. I say this and I mean it wholeheartedly. You've spent a week with us, and some of you all have spent years with us, multiple weeks. That thin blue line, it's really hard for me to allow people in that line with me. That's hard for me to let somebody step into that line. I'll tell you that my thin blue line got a little bit thicker this year because you cadets, I consider you all in my line with me now. I know that if you could, and something bad was happening to me or one of your SROs, I know you'd be right there to support them all the way. And that's what we are. We're a brotherhood and a sisterhood. So I welcome you into that. And I want to say good luck to you in your upcoming school year. I hope you all have the most terrific year that you've had so far. And I hope that each one of you cadets, when you see each other in the hallway or you see your SROs, I want you to remember those three words: professionalism, integrity, and respect. And I want you to carry that through the school year for me. Not just for me, but for yourself. So good luck. Again, parents, thank you for sharing your awesome kids with us. And congratulations, we'll get along with the program. So thank you all.